Well, I thought it was a great game out here, played by two really good football teams, and a lot of credit goes to Harding and the run they've been on, 11 straight wins, and came in here and gave us everything they had and then some, and it was a hard-fought game on both sides. Really proud of our guys and the way they kept fighting through and battling back from some adversity. Momentum got away from us a few times there in the first half and then again in the second half, and they fought back and made plays to get it back on our side and put the game out of hand there at the end, and just really want to shout out to our fans. That was an incredible turnout by Harding. It's neat to see them travel as well as they did, and that's what happens when you have two great teams that have been on such a run the past 3 weeks, both going undefeated and unscathed through their regions, all on the road. And so it was kind of cool to be able to play here at home for us, but also close enough that Harding could get over and support their guys, and just made for a great atmosphere. That's what college football is supposed to be about. Packed house, ESPN, and two really good teams, trading blows, and just a really good, hard-fought, clean football game, and tickled to death that we came out on top.
Go ahead and open it up for everybody.
Coach, can you talk about that fake punt deep in your own territory? What kind of went behind that particular play call?
Well, we didn't have momentum, and we were trying to get it back, and I'm still a little disappointed that we only made 7 yards. I thought we might score a touchdown, but it worked in terms of getting the first down and kind of sparked us a little bit there in that first half, which I felt like we needed it. The wind was howling at that time, and we had done a poor job fielding punts and had been backed up twice, and so we felt like it was going to be there. Brucks made a nice play on that as well. He won't be in the newspaper for it, but he made a great block, and then Tristan, delivered the ball, and Smallwood made a great catch. So just, sometimes you got to roll the dice and call a play, and it's no different than the play we called when we called Lasso there 3 minutes to go, and we're still putting it in the air because that's what we do, and it turns out to be a 80-something yard touchdown. So.
And Coach, obviously you guys are very heavy on the pass, and how much did the elements and the wind, how much did that affect kind of the play calling going into today?
I don't think it had a huge effect in it. We were able to run the ball efficiently most of the day, and Luis he's thrown. We throw it every day, so we throw it in the wind, we throw it when it's calm, we throw it when it's wet, and so I don't think it really affected many of your throws, and I don't think it really affected Matt's play calling. The only thing that hurt us a few times was the sun, and there in that second quarter we had a few calls that we should have maybe called the other way because we lost the ball in the sun a little bit there in the second quarter.
Hey, Arthur, what did you see on that screen pass in the fourth quarter?
Oh, man, green grass. That was my intentions from when we got the play call in, was to focus in on the catch, because the first screen that happened, it was an incomplete pass. So definitely had to shake that off. So my intentions were to just focus on the pass from, as soon as it start. That's what I was stressing to myself. Let's get this play started. Once we got the play started, Vincent Hobbs came out, made a great block, and I could hear my coach off the sidelines saying, "Please don't go out of bounds" or whatever. So I just stuck my foot in the ground and cut back, and next thing you know, hey, I'm
90 yards later.
Yes, sir. So
Whole block thrown in there.
yeah, so it was great blocking from the teammates. So I was just in a good position. All glory to God for being able to make a play. So.
Can you talk about the impact of Vincent Hobbs? I mean, I've this is the first time I've seen you play, and I've just observed where you would line up on offense. I mean, he was in the backfield at sometimes. He was split out wide at times. He blocked a lot of times, and he still was able to catch balls. And so, can you just talk about the impact of Vincent?
I think a lot of that goes into our offensive staff and their the way they've evolved with this offense, and Corey Smallwood's in there a lot. Austin Jordan, that's at A position, and we want to be out there with 11 personnel, but be able to give you a whole bunch of different looks and personnel packages with the same 11 guys on there. And so and then you throw into our short yardage stuff with truck and our big package, you're getting some ace, and so it puts some people in a bind because they're not just big, lumbering tight ends. Those guys are athletic. They can catch the ball. They can stretch the field. And Luis and Gabe both do a great job of getting us in situations out there where, the defense just can't get lined up right, just because we're going to have some mismatches one way or the other, and then it's a matter of pitching and catching and taking advantage of those opportunities. But Vincent Hobbs has done a great job and maturing in this offense and has become a really big weapon for us. And you'll see we've seen teams take him out of the game, and that's fine. That's when you got guys like DeArthur and DeLand and Marquise Wimberly and all the rest of them, or our run game. So really blessed with a lot of great playmakers on offense, and the offensive line has really played well the last 3 or 4 weeks to help make that happen as well.
I have a question for Brucks. On defense, obviously you guys usually only see the triple option once a year against Eastern, but what were you seeing out there to really put a stop to it? Because they did get a few big runs, but were held much under what they normally get during the game. What were you seeing out there?
Well, first of all, they did a great job of running it, and our head coach, our defensive coach, Coach Deason, did a great job preparing us for the triple option, and they run it just as good, if not better, than Eastern, and so we just went out and tried to find ways to stop it, see what would work, and we found a way.
Why didn't you tackle him on that 51-yard touchdown?
Oh, that was my fault.
Yes, it was.
He got 14. Luis, what was it like running 10 yards for that first down?
Oh, man, well, that was definitely not a play design, but,
Longest play of the game.
Took
forever.
Yeah, it took forever. I get it. So, no, it was a pass call, kind of caught, had the rush come up a little quick, and knew they were man coverage, so I knew nobody accounted for me. So as soon as I broke, I knew the defenders were going to have their backs turned, focused on the receiver, so I was able to get out and get a few yards and make it first down. So that was a big part.
It looked almost like granted you went slide, but it looked like you fought on that first down marker and put your knee down almost to continue that 15-play drive. Is that what was going through your mind when you were running that 10 yards? So just get to the first down and then let's continue.
Yes, there was like about 4 minutes left. We wanted to just keep the clock going. We didn't need anything catastrophic to happen. Just keep driving the ball. Keep driving the ball. As soon as I got the first down, I knew just to get down, and we were gonna have another set of downs, and then Crandall or Da, and somebody was gonna make a play for me.
And Coach, obviously today's the 45th anniversary of the Lions NAIA championship, and you guys punched your ticket to the NCAA championship, and what's that like for you as a coach? You're the only team you've been the head coach of before, and just the way that you've worked up and been able to punch that ticket here in Commerce. What's that like?
Well, it's been fun. It's been a fun 5 years, and there's been a whole lot of people that have had a big role in the growth of this program. And we kind of started off asking everybody to believe in the vision, and this senior class is leaving here as the all-time winningest senior class. And when there's 7 or 8 of those guys that signed on with us when we were maybe the worst team in the country, back-to-back 1-9 seasons when we kind of took over here and believed in the vision. And then we talked about taking over the Lone Star Conference, and we did that and ran the tables on the LSC for 3 straight years. In the past year or so, we've been talking about taking this program to a national level, and we've never said we're going to win a national championship, but we said we're going to be competing for one year in, year out, and that's where we are today. And so looking forward to this week and enjoying this week and trying to get that done Saturday. But there were 16 freshmen that played out there tonight, and so there were 17 the week before, and we've got a lot of really good young players, and so we're going to be really good for a long time, and that's what's encouraging. And but there's just been so many people that have had a big hand in this. From Will Curitan, he texted me this morning, and he spoke to the team and spoke to Luis on many occasions and told him dream big, and that's what we've kind of talked about. Dustin Vaughn, the most highly decorated quarterback in this league's history, he spoke to the team last night and talked about playing with a purpose, and that's where our focus is and was, and now we're going to continue to push take this thing to the top and give glory to the top, the good Lord above that has made it all possible for all of us and blessed us all with the talents that we have, from coaches to players to trainers to administrators. We're all blessed, and we know where those blessings come from, and we want to glorify Him in our quest.
Coach, it's been 23 years since the Lone Star Conference team was in the national title, and then another 35 since one actually won the title.
So the odds are against us.
May the odds forever be in your favor.
Yes. There you go.
What does it mean to A&M Commerce Lions, and how much that is? I mean, that's before all three of those guys are almost even born.
Right. No, it has been a long dry spell for the Lone Star Conference, and we're hoping to do our best to represent the Lone Star well, and hopefully try to bring a title home to the Lone Star. It's a great league. I've been in it since 1995, back to 85. If you count my years as a ball boy, and Coach Jim Wacker, his two granddaughters, play volleyball here, and he was the head coach of the Southwest Texas Bobcats when they did it back-to-back in the early 80s. So, we know the history there and the great teams from Texas A&I, and we were close there at West Texas in 2012. But it's fun. We're excited to be there, and we're just going to this was the game that was tough. Just with the team we were playing, the triple option, you want to get tight because you're so close to that goal. And that's one thing we're going to try to do is just enjoy this next week and show up in Kansas City and play. And West Florida may beat us by 40, but we're going to have fun while we're there. And hopefully they don't beat us by 40. But we're going to try to represent and make the Lone Star Conference proud this week.
Luis, what do you think was the turning point in the game today?
Well, you know what? Lasso play at the end, huge play. As soon as they had just got the momentum, they scored a field goal. It was a one-possession game. We were pinned back. Coach Strong called it lasso. Was able to get a good fake. And then the rest is history. So, that was a big play, and that really sparked the team.
What happened there? Did they call intentional grounding right there when that guy hit you?
We missed a signal, and so we didn't have he threw it where he was supposed to. We didn't have a receiver there, and then he got hit later, so it was offsetting penalties.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that size played a matter in this game, seeing that it seemed like you all had a bit of a size advantage over Harding? And do you think you kind of wore them down as the game went on and they started making some mistakes? Some of those guys are pretty big boys up there too. I mean, I know, pound for pound, we may be a little bigger across the board, but that triple option is just, it's a great equalizer. And you don't want I've never seen a triple option team that has a bunch of 6'7", 6'6" offensive linemen. You want those smaller guys to go throw and cut and crawl and get after a defense, and they are built for success, and that's why they're having the success they are there at Harding. And Coach Simmons does a great job, and his staff, and got a couple former players that are on that staff at Harding. So they're built the way they need to be, and we're built, to handle our business. And so it's two different styles, and both are very, very effective, and that's why you saw just a really good football game tonight between two really good teams.
What has this run meant for you, Colby, and what has this team done that you've seen a lot of football, you've spent your entire almost career in this conference? What was the difference with this team right now?
I think leadership and depth, and leadership starts at the top with this guy, sitting next to me, and this guy sitting next to me, and another senior over there. But, Luis is a special player and been around a few in our career. One spoke to us last night, and, every once in a while you get some guys like that come through, and there's just something about him that's a little different. And he's able to lead this team and make good decisions, and he does things the right way, and he kicks my butt in pool just about every day. But anyway, that'll change here soon because I won't be building this confidence anymore. I'm going to actually start trying hard. But it just the leadership of the senior class and those 7 or 8 guys that have been part of this thing since day one. It's just really been incredible, and we've overcome adversity. And you're going to face adversity in every game. We had it in this one, and so they've listened to that. They've listened to their coaches, taken coaching, hard coaching at times, and so that leadership has been very beneficial to this team. And then the depth, and we talked about that. We've had great teams. There's a bunch of bunch of guys from that 2014 team here that broke every record in the book in terms of offense and points scored. And, you know, it's great to see Vernon Johnson and Joe Bergeron and Tyreek Rollison, a bunch of those guys back out there. But we weren't a program with great depth at that time. We'd been recruiting these little he was a little snide-nosed freshman back then, I think. But now we've got so many high school classes stacked back to back to back to back, and those guys are, you know, providing that depth. When someone goes down or someone's hurt or someone, you know, can't get the job done, we can throw another guy out there. Defense, we play, you know, kind of limits us in the playoffs because of the roster size, but we're playing 24, 25, 26 guys every Saturday on defense. And we got the best defense in the Lone Star Conference by a long, long shot. Scoring and statistically, they're hands down the very, very best, and the best that this league has seen in a decade or two. And yet none of these guys get many accolades at the regional or with the superlatives, and that's fine. And that's unselfishness, which I think would be another, you know, characteristic of this team, because this guy just comes to work. And there's other linebackers that get a lot more accolades and All-Americans in all regions because they got more tackles. Well, he's not playing every snap. And he didn't play every snap against Western New Mexico or UTPB, so we could stay healthy, and that depth is our strength. And now we're still out there playing great defense where everybody else is staying at home.
Arthur, Luis, you got one more game left in your career. How much does that mean to you? That is playing for everything.
I'll go first. So, I mean, like Will Crutzen said, dream big. And that was the vision when I first got here, was to take this team and lead this team to the national championship. And for us to be playing for that next week is surreal. And it's amazing that, you know, everything that's been going on along the way, summer workouts, everything, you know, when you're squatting on that rack and you have to get up on your last rep, you know, it's for next week. All that is for next week. I'm just very, very, very fortunate and very thankful, you know, for God, and thank the Lord for allowing me to, you know, use my talents and be able to lead this team.
For me, I'm thankful to be in this position. Since I first got on campus, even with the hashtag to the top, I've believed in it. I've believed in these guys. Like, this team, throughout my career, hands down is the best team I've ever played on. And for me, this means the world. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, I can't even express how this feeling, like, this is real. Like, I believe so much in this team, in this program, and we're taking it to the top. That's honestly how I feel. That's it.
Anyway, got anything else before we wrap up?
You're an easy crowd.
All right, well, thank y'all. You sent out stats and everything as well to make sure everybody gets everything. And thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Go Lions. Great job. Great job. Good press conference.
Good press conference. That's my win. That's my win.
Great job.
Brooks, you good?